So, second injury report of the week, and this one is massive. So, of course, yes, we went ahead and covered the first one yesterday. Really just going through the basics of looking over, their injuries, who players are playing, which players are not playing, but also, of course, taking a look at who we might see on the injury report this week. And starting off right away, Trey Hendrickson did get hurt in last week's game, but he came back in that game. So I thought he would be fine. And I know, obviously, Coach did say that some of their players stepped on some of our guys, and that caused some problems. But for the most part, it seemed like, Trey Hendrickson would be okay and no problem at all. Well, we're starting off this second injury report with him at the top of the list. He did not participate in practice on Wednesday. So, very concerning, obviously, because, again, he had that foot injury last week that he got. So, hopefully he is okay and there's no problems. Could always be precautionary, and we'll see Thursday and Friday how everything shakes out. But with that being said, that is our first injury to talk about. Now, last week we had Jay on the list as an injury with his toe. He's no longer on the list, but now our other D tackle is currently on the list here. So our second D tackle is on the list with a shoulder injury. He did not participate in practice, so that again is another concern here. As Wednesdays, usually they don't participate in practice on Wednesday. It's not that big of a deal. Usually, if they don't participate on Wednesday, they'll play, Thursday and Friday. At very least, to do limited practice if they're going to play on Sunday. If they're not going to play on Sunday at all, then, it is what it is. Akeem Davis-Gaither is a good example of that. Speaking of Akeem Davis-Gaither, he's back. Yes, so he had his knee injury that's been keeping him out the last couple weeks. He is now practicing again. So he was a limited participant in practice on Wednesday, which is great news because now we have, a rotational guy we can put out there and not have to worry about Devin Harper being out there, who still has a hamstring injury on this list, but he was a full participant in practice. But now Akeem Davis-Gaither is slowly, hopefully, going to get back into the system, back into this defense. And again, I said many times, that's why we didn't put him on IR, because they knew he would be back within 4 weeks. So there's no point to put him on IR if you know he's going to be back within that 4-week period. Second thing, we have Orlando Brown, who is back on this injury list. He never really left the injury list. He does have a groin injury still. He didn't play the last 4 snaps of last week's game, although he really didn't need to, if we're being honest. It really wouldn't have changed anything, whether he played or didn't play the last 4 snaps, but just a key thing to keep an eye on. He was limited in practice. Joe Mixon has a chest injury, and again, another limited participant in practice. I was gonna think, he didn't take a big hit in last week's game. He did have a lot of rushes though. And, there are some people who are bringing up some good points on Twitter, and I will kind of reiterate this, that if Joe does go down, knock on wood, he never goes down, obviously, but if he hypothetically did go down, we don't really have any type of backup for him. Like, we don't have a running back 2 or 3 at this point, right? Travion Williams, Chris Evans, obviously, is those guys. And then, we had Chase Brown, but he got hurt, so we don't know when he's coming back, if he's coming back at this point. So it is a really weird situation with this team when it comes to running back situation, because I feel like it's like I want Joe Mixon to go out there and get as many carries as possible, but then it is kind of scary / if he gets too many carries and one bad hit, and our offense could become one-dimensional like that. I mean, a concussion in the game, and our offense now is one-dimensional. I think Travion Williams can be somewhat productive in this offense, especially if we get the pass game going. I think Travion could be serviceable, but this is why, again, I've said many times, I wanted to bring back Samaje Perine, maybe go target another guy. Now, there always are free agent running backs out there, but you can't really do anything in a game, right? When you're in the game and you're playing, there's not really a situation where you can say, oh, we'll go get a free agent. No, you kind of have to be in the game and playing. So we'll see. Devin Harper, though, again, yes, hamstring, as I said before, full participant in practice. And then we have Tyson Anderson, who has a knee injury and did not participate in practice. Now, this isn't really that big of a deal because Tyson, while yes, he's active every week, he hasn't really played a snap this year. So, a guy that we really thought was going to come in this year and be a rotational piece with Jordan Battle and Nick Scott and Dax Hill, that's not how, Lou has really used him. Lou has used him on special teams, and that's pretty much that. So, when it comes to defense exclusively, that's not a big deal. When it comes to special teams, that is a big deal. He is a really great option in special teams. But for, the optional defense secondary, this is not going to hurt us too much in this upcoming game. For their side, so Josh Allen, we talked about this yesterday. He did practice. He had a limited practice, but they did put him as did not participate in practice. The reason why is because he did not get through all the processes that he needed to, so he wasn't able to get clear of that tag of did not participate in practice. He did, but in a limited fashion. He has a right shoulder injury that he got actually last week, last Thursday night versus the Bucs. He had that injury, but he was still able to throw 75% completion percentage, 375 yards, and a couple tutties. So, is this going to be a problem? We'll see. I mean, this definitely throughout the week could progress into something worse. He wasn't able to high-five his teammates, apparently, because that hurt too bad. So, this could become a thing where throughout the week it gets worse and worse, and then we end up playing a backup quarterback on Sunday night, which, to be honest, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Josh Allen will be fine. Josh Allen is a fighter. The guy is a massive, just monster of a quarterback. Like, he's the guy who runs headfirst into a linebacker, okay? I think he'll be fine with a shoulder injury. With Sewell Douglas, they obviously just got here. They just picked him up, just traded for him from the Green Bay Packers. Shout out to Tom Grossi for, giving this team a new player right before we're about to play him, man. Like, Packers need to chillax a little bit, man. Because the kitty is trying to go meow, and you're kind of killing the vibes, man. Anyway, Kahir Elam, Matt Elam's brother. That's all the reason why I remember this guy at this point. He has an ankle injury, did not participate in practice. He is their number 2 corner. This is actually humongous. Tre'Davious White's out for the season with an injury, right? Now you have, he actually tore his Achilles. Now you have the second corner who's now out did not participate in practice in this game, might not play in this upcoming game. Damar Hamlin, safety. I apologize. Damar Hamlin, the safety, thank you, has an illness, so we'll see if he does end up playing. Did not participate in practice. No matter what, he will be there. They will do a whole entire honoring thing for him, so he will be there, and even if he doesn't play, they'll still honor him. Quentin Morris, their backup tight end. Keep in mind that Dalton Kincaid is now their starter because Dalton Knox is out with injury. So now their starting tight end is Dalton Kincaid. Their backup, the only other tight end on the roster, currently has an ankle injury and is limited participant in practice. Balin Spector, hamstring injury, did not participate in practice yesterday. We'll see if he does end up participating, throughout the week. But right now, they have a lot of injuries on their squad. And I'll be honest with you, I do feel bad for the Bills in the context of, they have so many players who simply are not able to play. And their team would be 1,000 times better if they had those guys. And we are getting a little lucky with that context that, we don't have to play the best of the best, but it is what it is. You play whoever is on your schedule to play. You go out there and you see who's the better team in the end, right? At the end of the day, this is how football works. Thank you guys for watching, though. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.